Good evening, everybody. Welcome to a brand new show from Biggie News. Today, we're gonna have coffee, so the show is called Coffee with Biggie. So, our guest today is a professor from Nottingham. Actually, it's a bit confusing on how he's here from Nottingham, but looking like he's from something. But overall, I think he should be a great person and he should be a great first guest. So, Mr. Ashwin, what is a magnet?
A magnet is a force that pulls on another magnet. Another magnet, like generally another magnets like iron, nickel. Yep. In each magnet, they have a south pole and north pole. South pole it won't attract or north pole, they will repel. Same thing goes with north pole. They won't attract, they will repel. But south pole and north pole they will attract. Since they are various, so they will attract. So yep.
How do we demagnetize a permanent magnet and how do you do it?
We can demagnetize the permanent magnet by heating it up, or we can demagnetize a magnet by heating it up, or destroying the magnet by using ammo or something, so it will be demagnetized. So yeah.
Which material do you think has the maximum operating temperature? Because I don't really understand this. So, which material do you think has the maximum operating temperature?
Okay, when you say this, the first thing came into my mind is an alloy, which is Alnico. It's an alloy. Yeah, it's alloy. If I'm not mistaken, it will be the Celsius equals to is 540. So yeah, that's for the second play. I think so. It will be, I don't know, second ceramic 300. If I'm not mistaken, it's 300 Celsius.
Alright, wow, that's impressive. So I've also been questioning this because when I found out that we were doing this magnetic project, I started taking coins and doing it, playing with magnets, pins. But how is steel magnetic?
Still, because in steel it contains iron. Iron, as I said just now, iron contains magnetic. So yeah, example like lodestone, it's a contents of iron oxide. So iron is magnetite. So yeah, like that.
So thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining the show, and now it's time for an advertisement. Yes, our first show, and we have an advertisement. Wish me luck. Goodbye, and see you on the next clip. Get yourself a cup of amazing coffee that is added with water that is diligently placed, and just a little bit more water that is poured carefully, and just a little bit more water that is taken care of extremely well. And the main ingredient, Nescafe coffee that no one has ever heard of. It's secret. Don't tell anyone. Buy your own Biggie coffee today.
So basically, a magnetic field is a vector field that describes the magnetic influence of electric charges in relative motion and magnetized materials. The effects of magnetic fields are commonly seen in permanent magnets, which pull on magnetic materials such as iron bar and attract or repel other magnets. So, our planet's magnetic field is believed to be generated deep down in the Earth's core. So the Coriolis force resulting from the Earth's spin also causes swirling whirlpools. This flows liquid iron generates electricity currents, which in turn produce magnetic field. So there are a lot of type of experiments to do with this magnetic field. So one of them, magnetic objects such as paper clips, which get pulled toward the magnet if they are placed in the field. You can see the magnetic field of a magnet using iron metal fillings in a ziplock bag or iron fillings in a sealed case. So magnets come in a different variety of shapes, and one of the more common is the horseshoe magnet, which is the U-type magnet. And these magnets, like the horseshoe magnet, has north and south pole just like a bar magnet, but the magnet is curved so the poles lie in the same plane. The magnetic lines of force flow from the pole to pole just like in the bar of magnets.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Biggie News. Today, we have our guest, Mr. Nishat, on. He is a scientist. Fortunately, now he's just been shifted to Harvard, and now he's a scientist. His profession is in electromagnets and magnets overall. He was originally a professor in Sunway University, which is already a big thing, but now he's just become a very important part in the economics as well. So, Mr. Nishat here is here to explain how do we use electromagnets and stuff like that in more detailed terms. So, Mr. Nishat, how do we use electromagnets and what is an electromagnet?
Firstly, an electromagnet is a temporary magnet produced using an electric current. So it works when the current flows through a wire and produces a magnetic field.
What is the difference between an electromagnet and a normal magnet, like a permanent magnet?
There are two main differences. So, electromagnet can be switched on and off, unlike the permanent magnet. Then you can make an electromagnet stronger or weaker.
Can we make electromagnets and can we, increase the power of it?
Yeah, we can. So, by turning a coil of wire on a core, firstly, a coil of wire is known as a solenoid in terms, and we can connect the magnet with a switch and a battery. So, when you switch on, the electric current is passed through the coil and produces a magnetic field. And we can make an electromagnet stronger by using more turns on a coil, and the more the current, the more stronger it becomes. And next, the type of metal, that it depends on the strength.
Where are electromagnets used in? Because the only magnet I know is the small magnets that we used when we were children. That would make a little noise. So where are they used in modern days?
It is used in factories, in scrapyards, and hospitals. Doctors use it to remove iron or steel from people's eye for surgeries.
So, Mr. Nishat, and just another question, just out of the blue. How does it feel for you to become a scientist now? I mean, you work so hard all this time, so how is it?
Sad but fun.
I can understand that. I used to pick garbage at first, but then now I'm back up here. So that's it. So I hope you all enjoyed today's interview.
Okay. So basically, okay, the consistency can affect how a magnet attracts items through a liquid dramatically. Now let's say it's water or vegetable oil. The thing isn't exactly thick, so items attracted through water, through these liquids, aren't too affected. They do float a little more, thus making it slower, but still not too big a difference. If, however, if items like corn syrup or honey are used, it's very thick, meaning it's a very large consistency. And because of that, items will be attracted much slower or not at all, depending on the magnet itself as well. Now, okay, the terms for items that are magnetic and not, okay? If an item is attracted or repulsed by a magnet, then the item will be classified as ferromagnetic. Items like these are basically item metals. A good example is iron. Now, however, items that are not attracted or repelled by magnets are classified as either paramagnetic or even diamagnetic. There are many examples for this as like cotton, wood, plastic, and many more items that your everyday magnet won't attract.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the end of the episode. We have our last guest, Mr. Martin. He's gonna be basically explaining about electromagnets way better than Mr. Nishad. Sorry, Mr. Nishad, I still love you, but it's fine. He's gonna be a lot more interesting, hopefully. If no, means we have to get a refund. But I think he will do his best today. Mr. Martin, what is a relay switch and how does it work?
Okay, so a relay switch is actually an electrically operated switch. It consists of a set of input terminals for a single or multiple control signals and a set of operating contact terminals. The switch may have any number of contacts in multiple contact forms, such as make contacts, break contacts, or combination thereof.
So, Mr. Martin, how do we use electric bells? Not how do we use, how is electric bells, functioning with electromagnets? I want to know the whole prospect of it.
Okay, so how does an electric bell works? An electric bell contains an electromagnet consisting of coils of insulated wire wound round iron rods. When an electric current flows through the coil, the rods become magnetic and attract a piece of iron attached to a clapper. The clapper will hit the bell and make it ring. Yeah.
Okay, so now to the last and final question. Mr. Martin, how is electromagnets used in modern day medicine? Because I never understood that thing a bit. Because I don't know how you use it. I'm very dumb when it comes to things like this. So can you please explain for me?
So, a magnetic field uses magnets to maintain health and treat illness. The human body and the earth naturally produce electric and magnetic fields. Electromagnetic fields also can be technologically produced, such as radio and television waves.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. I hope you all enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, like the video, and share it because all of us worked really hard for it. I'm gonna tag everyone's Instagram down below and go show some love. Bye.